Hello there. So let's start with Mary Seton's discussion with Ouspensky. She says in her article, "I do not think that anyone was ever kinder to me, nor that anyone ever respected me as a person more than P.D. Ouspensky. What happened later never affected my regard for him as a human being. I will always be grateful to Ouspensky for what I believe I learned from his system." One day, a nice middle-aged couple, rich, who had become breathless devotees of P.D. Ouspensky, shocked me by saying, "You must be very highly developed to work so closely with Mr. Ouspensky." It came as a shock because I saw I was flying under false colours, for I was no more highly developed as a result of what I was now doing than I had been when I was in England on the very periphery of the system. I knew it. The danger to myself of being supposed to be developed, far in advance of what I was, loomed into my mind. Here was a temptation to pose, staring me in the face. One day, Ouspensky mentioned he had heard of an exceptionally good restaurant where he intended to go to dinner sometime. Then an afternoon came when he instructed me to cancel the lecture set for that evening, because he wanted to go to dinner at this restaurant, which had very good food and wine. I cancelled the lecture and informed as many of the people as possible. Ouspensky then asked me to go out to dinner at this restaurant with him. It was a most excellent dinner, but during it I felt the time had come when I must ask him for an explanation as to how he could consider that this dinner justified the sudden cancellation of a lecture. Where did such action fit into the system? And where also did his violent temper towards some people fit in? The thought went through my mind several times. Is it I who do not understand? Is it I who have lost all sense of proportion? Is it I who am being temperamental in feeling that I have a right to seek an explanation, and not to take all this for granted as being in order? When the coffee came, I asked, "Can you, or will you explain how it is you could cancel a lecture at a few hours' notice for the sake of this dinner? I don't understand, and I'm very sorry to be compelled to ask you, but do you lose your temper with people consciously, or because you have lost control of yourself? You do not lose your temper with me in this way." "They are such fools," he said. "I've lost control of my temper." "But surely if we are to try to control our negative emotions, we cannot learn from you if you can't control yours," I said. Ouspensky answered bluntly, "I took over the leadership to save the system, but I took it over before I had gained enough control of myself. I was not ready. I have lost control over myself. It is a long time since I could control my state of mind." "Will you not try to gain control over your temper, for everybody thinks you are testing them when you fly at them," I said, for it never entered my head that Peter Ouspensky was not speaking the truth. "They are fools," he said contemptuously. "But I really feel I've learned something from the system," I said. "Then you are the only one of us who ever has," said Ouspensky. "I've really tried," I said. "I tried for myself." "The others are deluding themselves. They have never gained anything," Ouspensky said. For some strange reason I was not aghast at such revelations. I was not even shocked. "Why don't you give up the lectures and try to gain control of yourself again?" I asked. "The system has become a profession with me," Ouspensky answered. "Will you not give up the lectures?" I asked later. "In Russia," said Ouspensky, "there used to be 1,000 or 2,000 people at my lectures. Here there are 100, too few." And one day he said, "I have become dependent on the comfort, the luxury. I can't give it up."